boom, off what felt like the Zans. And that shit's like permanently fucked up my edible tolerance, honestly. I truly believe that cannabis has saved my life. Screwdruid! Yo, what's good? Druid! I think it's time we bring back a classic, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, stoners of the, whatever this thing is that we live in. It's pretty late. I'm home alone. I'm not Kevin McAllister though. But I do think, like Kevin McAllister did, we make ourselves a solid meal. In celebration of tonight being the night I break my tolerance break. And a lot's changed, I had my Altanoid era when I got out of high school, y'all. To shed some light about my journey, I got really into THCP. I'm from the East Coast. THCA access was kind of the only way that we could really get high. And honestly, it's not healthier, but the better bang for the buck was to go to the local smoke shop chain, grab my little looper at the time, and just boom, off what felt like the Zans. I mean, a big facet in me getting to where I am is being willing to accept that I needed the help and wanting to have a better relationship. I truly believe that cannabis has saved my life, and it really stinks that it's gotten to the point where I was so dependent on it. The best analogy I can think of it is if you break your leg, right? You don't want to be in a cast for the rest of your life because it limits mobility, right? You want to get through it. You want to, when it's necessary, you don't want to not have the cast. But at the same time, you don't want the cast to be the reason you never walk again. It'll never be the same as the first couple of times I got high. It'll never be the same as the second time I ever took an edible and literally passed the fuck out off 250 milligrams of who knows what. And that shit's permanently fucked up my edible tolerance, honestly. Honestly, this episode of Druid's Dining Disasters is dedicated to the person who helped me believe that I could do it, right? My lovely special someone, right? She means the world to me, of course, but also is the complete reason that I'm able to stand here and say what I am saying honestly. And to know, hey, I got through it and didn't replace anything, So, as I said, this goes to you, okay? Boom. We got ourselves the Hawaiian rolls. The Hawaiian rolls, right? I love these suckers. If you don't, I don't know what's wrong with you. It's got to be genetic. So, here we go. While pondering what to put on these, I found some ground sausage. I think, we're gonna make some solid breakfast sliders, right? And of course, it's never the same without butter. A little bit of a sauce to brush on top, consisting of mayo, mustard, the packet of ranch seasoning I found, and not to forget, pickles, in terms of pickle juice. And last but not least, the little topping that we're gonna put on top, some Parmesan cheese. I may not be an octopus, but let's get to cracking. A fairly key detail that I completely forgot to mention is the need for cheese and bacon. No homo, but it's always important to get quality meat. There's millions of ways to make these an absolute delight, but today I don't have chicken nuggets. It's a million ways to make these bomb, a delight, a heaven-sent treat, But today, we're just gonna do something real simple. We're just gonna cut them open. We're gonna dice them. We're just gonna cut them in half, spread our spread, make this. So first step, now that these things are in there, we're gonna make our sauce. Screwdruid! Alright. So it doesn't matter obviously what bowl you use, but since, you know, we're at grandma's house and this is, you know, supposed to be a fairly wholesome dinner in celebration of a very wholesome moment, we're using the VeggieTales bowl. So I'm just gonna, so I'm gonna start off with a tad drizzle, as you can see. So we've started off with some pickle juice. It's hard to see because it's, you know, a clear-ish liquid. But next step, you know, it's a mayo-based sauce. Am I right? Or am I right? So I'm gonna take a little dollop. Yep. I'm gonna start off with a little bit because, you know, like we said, we only got 6 rolls. Some people have a lot more than 6 rolls. Excuse me. Technically, excuse the mustard. We're gonna give it a little stir. And now for the taste test, as if I didn't just taste it by accident. It's very good. So as you can see, we did our fair mixing. Alrighty. So you always need a kniff. And with these rolls, you don't need a crazy kniff. You just need enough to really just, you know, half it. Now I'm gonna lay that down there. And I'll do the same with the rest of the container. Alakazam! The key takeaway from this step is that it doesn't have to be perfect, because, you know, nobody is. But what I will say is, it's time to spread the white stuff. The biggest lesson so far with this cooking episode is never be afraid to make more white stuff. As a guy, that would seem pretty logical, you think, but hey, what do you know? What do you know? I was homeless for most of this year. What do you know? As you can see, some of these might have had a little too much white stuff. But hey, how did I get here? By accident. And it's worked out okay. So, like, you know, whatever. So like everything else, I have faith in this shit. So if I got here, that can get here too. If I got here A-okay, at the end of the day, those are gonna be a treasure too. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time. I'm gonna reload it. Now, we're going to, now that we have all of our sandwiches in order, we're gonna start topping them. Cheese time is always a good time, okay? And since we have sliced cheese, I'm just gonna go ahead and drape it across the two of them. You know, I'm gonna fold it in half. And just be like that. And be like that. I'm gonna eat this one because I want to make it symmetrical. No offense, but out of all the cheeses, Swiss is kind of like not it. Maybe I'm just like not palated. But hey, now that we cheesed everything up, now that everything has a little bit of cheese, as you can see, we're gonna do the meat part. You might ask, Druid, how in the world do you feel comfortable making all these Caucasian jokes? Well, Because I got that cock in my bitch Asian. What do I do? What do we do? Let's turn on the heat. Wait, it's the wrong burner. I think it's the wrong burner. Alright, yeah. We got on the right burner now. It's always hella important to make sure you got on the right burner. And as you saw on my face, sometimes it's worth cleaning up your messes. The grandparents I'm staying with right now, I didn't speak with them for 2.5 years. Why? Boundary issues. But at the end of the day, you just gotta roll with it, you know? Fuck, what am I saying? So as this starts to sizzle, I'm gonna, since bacon has its own fat, y'all. I mean, so do I. But now, doesn't that sound lovely? So, I know you're not supposed to use a spoon, but hey, I just like to flip it over and over again, and then I'm gonna cut it. I already ripped it in half once, but just to, you know, make it even for each sandwich. We're gonna switch to the butter knife. I know she says I'm hot shit, but this freaking bacon with the burner on high, hotter shit, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what it is about thick cut bacon. I mean, I like thick women, but good lord, this shit's having me too. Woo! Baby! Toasty, what can I say? So, as you can hear and probably see the excessive amount of smoke coming up, some of these pieces are starting to look a little tender. Okay. Ice, baby. Would you look at that? Oh, that's hot. Alright. Sometimes it's okay to turn down the heat even if you went through a baptism of fire. Yeah, so all that to say is I'm gonna go ahead and just like put my whole hand in there, and I'm just gonna sprinkle some sausage pre-cooked. Dang, that shit got some long game, brother. Alright, so I went ahead. It's so hot that, I mean, yeah, you can just, it's exploding on me, you know? I'm gonna go ahead, scoop the cooked bacon bits out, you know? Just let the sausage sizzle up one by one. I'm just gonna sweetly ladle a piece of bacon like so. Ow, fucker. Grab a spoonful of bacon, like so. Ta-da. And now, just gonna set it over that way. I wonder if they really call it a money spread if it's still, I wonder if it's still a money spread if you got bread and the cheese. They call me the meat man. I'm good with the meat and I'm a man. You know what I'm saying? These are the games we play. Shout out to games we play though. Did Rolling Loud. Shit. Shout out to you, brother. I know you're not my brother yet. But like, shout out to you, brother. Bacon grease is one of the most lovely things to ever exist in mankind's history. Why do you say, Druid? Because when you put anything with bacon, it makes it taste like bacon. Now look at that, baby. We looking sexy. I asked her what she wanted for dinner, and she asked if I was an option. I mean, I'm not opposed to the concept, but I still think that shit looks bomb. I might call myself the Dickinator, but this shit Oh, I might be the chefinator too. In the same bowl as before, I'm gonna drop a pat of butter along with 2 others. And then we're gonna take our lovely ranch seasoning. I hope that this tastes okay. I've never, done that before. As I mentioned earlier about the griche de bacon, we're just gonna go ahead, make the sauce taste like the shit that's in it, That's what she said. Oh, one more thing, I almost forgot. The Parmesan. I was gonna sprinkle it over top, but I figured why not as well just, put the bitch in the microwave. Stir, you make stir. We'll see what happens. As one might have guessed, this turned out a little interesting. Thank God for using microwave-safe bowls. But the ranch powder kind of solidified in a way that I hadn't anticipated. One moment, please. Me starting to think that we should have added the ranch powder shit after melting the butter. That shit went like crack and rocked the fuck up. I don't feel like Bob and Larry and Junior and all the other people, the peas and the carrot kids, I don't think they ever anticipated this to be a part of their reality at some point. But hey, who's to say they weren't a high idea the whole time? So I've definitely made better glazes in my time, but that doesn't look too bad.
I'll just be honest, I have no clue how long stuff is supposed to take. I think a good temperature for this would be like 125, like just my gut. And we're gonna do it for 10 minutes and start. Hit 1, 25. I'll put it on again. Oh. Okay. So apparently the lowest it'll go is 170. I'm just gonna keep a very dedicated eye on that. And we're off to the races.
These bad boys, or girls, I'm not really sure. I'm really not great at knowing if food has a gender or like what that gender might be. I just hope she likes it. And I hope you like this video, this vlog. Stay tuned. I hope y'all stay safe. As always,